Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Look in my eyes, Larson. What do you see?
I'm looking at you.
Come on, look deep into my soul. It's my love for CM Punk. Did you
Yes,
see it? Did you see it?
Yes.
Anyways, CM Punk is back, everybody. And, man, as has always been the case with Phil Brooks, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what to expect. This guy changes the question. He changes the culture. And sometimes he makes a lot of enemies backstage.
He does.
So we thought it'd be fun today on the channel to rank the likeliest outcomes for CM Punk's WWE return.
Is he going to be a glad-handing yes-man?
Wow, yeah, maybe.
Is he going to be a doofus?
Oh, okay.
Like his new boss, Triple H, as
That
he
could
described
be.
it in the pipe bomb?
Is he doofus team? Is he team doofus? Seems like it right now, but will that last? Will he, will this have a happy ending or a sad ending? I'm not talking about a massage. I'm talking about will it be a positive outcome?
Culminate in a positive or negative outcome.
Or will it be an absolute disaster, a debacle, a dumpster fire?
Yes.
A mess.
Yes.
We're going to power.
Oh, you're not asking my opinion yet.
No, we have
sorry.
a list of 6 different potential outcomes. And I thought it'd be fun to rank from most likely
Yes.
to least likely.
Yes.
So, let's go ahead and how should we do it? Should we read off all that's going to happen, or should we?
Let's go through each scenario, talk about them at the end. We'll say which is most likely to least likely.
Okay, sounds good. So my first scenario, I like to start positive. He's a massive hit. The Raw rating this past week, his debut, his return promo,
Yeah.
really good number.
Well, Randall Keith Thornton came back too.
That was good too. But a lot of people waiting around for that Punk promo. A lot of people dipped out before that promo happened because they don't want to wait around 3 hours.
No, don't blame him.
But maybe he'll be a massive hit. He is the guy to finish Cody's story for him. He dethrones Roman. He gets a Hall of Fame induction and retires a hero of the WWE.
A true heroic homecoming for Phil Brooks, huh?
Exactly, yeah. And he makes a lot of money in the process.
Well, here's the thing. Even if he is a massive hit, he ain't going to be the guy to throw into Roman.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's probably going to be last on our list.
If that is a necessary part of this particular outcome.
He comes back as the new Bruno. He comes back as the Alpha and the Omega all in one.
All in one.
Yeah. And he's like he shows up and oh my God, he is the true plus delta of the WWE. And in that case, he forces their hand. He's like, look at how popular I am. The ratings skyrocket. SmackDown 10 million. Raw raises to 10 million.
Head to head with Monday Night Football. All right, if that's the case, then he does beat Roman.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That ain't gonna happen. Like his most immediate impact was gonna be his first night there. It got 1.8. Not even 2 million. That's what SmackDown normally gets on a normal basis.
Oh, I know. But the previous week it did 1.3.
Also, the Monday Night Football matchup wasn't very good. So people are like, I'm not going to bother watching that game.
All right. Fair enough.
But here's the thing. Will he be successful so long as he behaves himself? Yes, and he stays healthy.
Hold on. That's in here.
Well, okay, go to the next one then.
The next one is what you're saying. Everything goes fine for the length of his contract. Maybe wins a few titles. I'm not saying the top ones. Maybe he has a mid-card title. Maybe, I don't like this. Maybe he dethrones Gunther. Maybe he wins a tag
I'd
title.
rather have him beat Roman than beat Gunther.
Maybe he wins a tag title. You are salty about CM Punk. Them comments weren't lying, man. Oh, Larson really hates CM Punk.
I don't hate him. I'm just kind of indifferent.
So this next scenario, everything goes fine for the length of his contract. He wins a few minor titles. And he still gets that Hall of Fame. And he's going to get, we can both agree on this.
So long as he doesn't get shit canned, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
As long as he doesn't get fired, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So that's the next scenario. I kind of feel like that is a fairly likely one. I could see that happening. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I would say this one's probably fairly high on the power ranking because so long as he is on his best behavior for the duration of his multi-year deal, assuming it's 3 years, I'd be hard pressed to believe that he wouldn't be in the company 3 years and not win a title.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
And whenever he's like, all right, I'm good, I'm done, I've rehabilitated my legacy, which I think is kind of his primary objective here. And in process, sticking it to Tony Khan.
Make a lot of money, too.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But, he wants to go out on his terms and be regarded highly, I feel like. Because I feel like that's kind of part of Punk's MO is like, I want to be highly regarded.
I can see that. Yeah,
because that's why I kind of feel like he wants to be seen as a locker room leader. He wants to be respected. He wants to be highly regarded. He wants people to look up to him and come to him with problems and looking for advice and stuff like that.
Wants to be a real role model.
He wants to be a role model, yeah.
Who doesn't, though?
All right.
I think it'd be cool to be a role model. I don't know if I am, though. Let's go to this next one here.
All right.
So, yeah, we kind of agree this one's kind of high up.
Yeah, I would think so.
The next one I think is kind of high up, too.
Yeah.
And it's not like I got very specific here, but I think in general, this entry can be called injury prone. So he gets injured fairly early into his run. He's out a long time, comes back, probably gets injured again. We saw this start to happen a little bit in AEW. Maybe some of that stuff was flukish, but the bottom line is he ain't getting any younger.
Nope.
Unless that's a thing. I mean, he could be doing the Rey Mysterio stem cells thing. I don't know.
No, I mean, based on what happened in AEW, it's not the case because, he was getting hurt. I mean, the one where he dove into the crowd and hit his foot on the guardrail and broke it, that was just kind of a fluke thing. The other one was during the match where he tore his tricep in his match with Mox right before Brawl Out. I know he was out of action for 7 years. Mm-hmm. That being said, he wrestled a lot.
He did, yeah.
And you see someone like Bryan Danielson right now who's roughly the same age who is getting hurt a lot.
Yeah.
You reach a certain point in your career, especially if you continue to wrestle a physical style, the odds are increased that you're going to get injured. Based on recent history, you got to consider this to be relatively high on the list.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the thing about this compared to AEW, you sort of mentioned it, he was wrestling a lot. I can sort of extrapolate from his behavior. I think he likes to do that. I think he wants to be used.
Yes.
That being said, I wonder if WWE is going to try to manage his time a little bit more. Plus, the WWE style, what they ask for of their wrestlers is not what he was doing in AEW. Lengthier matches, more physical matches. Now, he's always had a very physical style, but WWE in general, maybe they'll, instead of, hey, go out there and do a 25-minute Collision main event, instead we're going to have you do a 12-minute, Raw main event or whatever.
Yeah.
I know Raw main events are usually kind of longer, but even if it's 18 minutes.
Yeah, but, a lot of those Collision main events, not all of them, but a vast majority of them were tag matches.
They were tag matches.
He was tagging with FTR or whoever, and so it kind of, the length of the match, you see it on paper, it's like, well, it's a long match. If he's in the match like 30% of it, he's only really wrestling for 7 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a way to protect him a little bit. So if he ends up wrestling on TV any amount, I would think it's probably going to be in tag matches, not so much in one-on-one bouts because they want to save those for pay-per-views so people can fork over money to Peacock to get those. Hey, let's talk this next one because I think this one's pretty likely.
So the next one is we got some minor issues backstage, causes some headaches, and he's got to be kept away from certain people.
So, I don't know Phil Brooks. I don't know CM Punk.
You don't?
I don't know him personally. No.
You did touch him once.
I touched his shoulder, yes.
And you said, I'm right here.
I did say that?
Yeah, I have that on video. I'll probably use it here. I'll cut. I'll do an edit.
You have that on video. Wow, I'm right here. So, if he sees that he's being successful, if he gets comfortable, he lets the guard down a little bit.
He let the demons out, you mean?
It's possible that, especially if there's some younger talent in WWE who's like, all right, I got a path. I know what I'm doing. Phil, I respect you, but I need your advice.
Yeah.
We saw that in AEW. That Phil didn't like that.
No,
if he offers advice and you don't heed it,
yeah.
you're in Phil's doghouse.
You're bringing the dog out in him.
So it's possible that he has a reputation of being a bit prickly.
Yeah,
being a bit perhaps grumpy.
Yeah,
he's not doing it now.
Yeah,
give it a little bit. Give it some traveling. Give it the bumps and bruises from wrestling. Let's see if Grumpy Phil comes back.
All right.
And if that's the case, there's a chance that he could rub somebody the wrong way and cause some minor issues.
Now, I mean, this one, to be honest with you, this one could go hand in hand with like the second one where everything goes fine. He could last the entire contract by being a minor nuisance backstage, not a major nuisance. I mean, they kept Randy Orton around after he was like, like, didn't he crap in somebody's bag or something?
Reportedly, yes.
Reportedly, allegedly. So, he could. This is not to say he's going to get fired. He's not going to get sacked. But we're gonna have a couple of thumbnails. Backstage issues, backstage altercation. That leads into the next one. And we're talking about a total and absolute meltdown within like the first year, maybe year and a half. Physical altercation backstage. Basically a rinse and repeat of AEW. And he's released. And then, I don't know, he starts a podcast or he does this next one. Everything is the same, but he ends up in New Japan or TNA.
Probably TNA is more likely.
TNA by 2025 or so, by the end of 2025.
Yeah. At a certain point, let's say if the meltdown scenario happens, say, someone gets on his nerves or he gets on someone's nerves. And they're like, I'm going to get under Phil's skin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to leak rumors to the press. Phil doesn't like that.
No, he doesn't. And even though he has his own outlet, the House of Wrestling.
I know. I mean, yeah, he's talked. Phil's been confirmed to talk to numerous places.
Yeah.
Well, officially and unofficially confirmed. So, if someone's like, hey, I'm gonna stick it to Punk, because we saw what happened in AEW when rumors got out about him, put rumors out about him and get him upset. And he can just go and start confronting people. Fisticuffs can ensue. Something like that scenario right there.
Oh, yeah. Look, here's right
where he throws up his hands.
Busted up right there. The Dukes are up. And
I feel like in WWE, they're going to have even less tolerance for physical altercations than they had in AEW.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if there wasn't some sort of zero tolerance philosophy for CM Punk, considering he's coming back. He's got to be on best behavior for a long time, I feel like.
Yeah.
Before he can get away with much.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how likely this is, at least in the first year, because I feel like he's got to be cognizant of the fact that he's got not a whole lot of wiggle room here.
Yeah, right.
This is kind of his last chance.
Yeah, you would think so.
To be in WWE or I think he's not going back to AEW.
To be on a channel that somebody's actually going to be able to watch.
Yeah, although apparently Access is going to be on Xfinity coming soon, so we can watch Impact on.
Yeah, but like you probably got to plunk down major money to get that deep into the channel.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I just don't know. So this is his last chance to wrestle on the largest possible stage in the world of pro wrestling. And if he screws it up, that's it. I feel like he's got one screw up and he's out. Serious screw up and he's out.
Yeah, you're done.
And and then he has to wrestle for TNA.
All right, well there you go. Well, okay. So in terms of likeliest, look, man, I'm a glass half fill kind of guy. Get it? Glass half.
Of course,
filled,
it wasn't terribly subtle.
Filled PhilLED, if you want.
What's the adage? If you have to explain the joke, it must not be that good to begin with.
No, it's an awesome joke. Everything goes fine for the length of contract. Maybe wins a few titles, gets a Hall of Fame induction. I kind of feel like that's going to be the likeliest outcome. I think this is a lot different than AEW, and I think it's a lot different than his previous run in WWE. I just feel like it's a positive environment there. I feel like it's a positive environment there. You ragged on my last joke, so I'm not going to give that one any shrift. And I feel like this is probably going to be the case. I feel like likeliest, he'll be fine.
I'm just trying to show we can all do Phil puns. I feel like the thing is that everything goes fine for the length of the contract could coexist with some minor issues backstage. I don't feel like those are mutually exclusive. He can rub people the wrong way so long as it doesn't escalate to anything more than just, I'm irritated by this guy.
So you're going to raw gate the everything goes fine plus he's kind of a headache.
Well,
up for likely.
I'm going to say if you're saying that everything goes fine for the length of the deal, one, I'm saying the minor issues backstage is two, because I don't think that's too far removed from everything.
Yeah, I get you.
I think in terms of dealing historically with CM Punk, some minor backstage issues is probably a pretty good scenario. I don't recall in his WWE run him
like exploding on people backstage, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, yeah, people might have thought he was a bit of a d-bag for saying he's a locker room leader.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't think that there was any like big.
I just remember.
I don't think that was the case.
Next up, I think he's going to get hurt.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think next would be because he's old. And as you and I both know, the older you get, the more you hurt.
The more injury prone
the more
you are.
injury prone. Yeah, exactly.
After that, it's kind of a toss-up between... Well, no, he's not dethroning Roman.
So dethroning Roman is at the very bottom.
Yeah,
I think that is the least likely. And I think things like an absolute meltdown, he starts a podcast or he ends up in TNA, that's all above he dethrones Roman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'll say this, even if Cody somehow gets hurt between now and WrestleMania and he can't finish his story, even if they plug Phil in there for the Mania match, Roman's winning. Roman's going to beat him.
To what end? Until Cody can?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because
you think
then they'll be like, oh, well, this is a scenario now Roman can beat Hogan's record. It's not even really a record. And he can have that accolade too, being the longest reigning modern champion.
Yeah.
So they'll just do that and then, I don't know, push till SummerSlam or till Mania next year and have Cody finally beat him.
And Cody finally finished the story.
Cody's going to finish the story, whether it's at 40 or 41, it's going to happen.
Oh, you think that's in terms of like the likelihood of all this?
Only person on the roster who's in a position to conceivably beat Roman Reigns at this point.
He's still relatively young. He's not Phil age. He's like 10 years younger than CM Punk, I think.
Yeah, he's in his mid-30s.
I think he's like 36 or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, hey, let us know what you guys think is the likeliest or unlikeliest outcome for Phil Brooks, a.k.a. CM Punk. Fill us in on what you guys think. See, it's the PH.
Or if you've gotten your fill of
see, look at that.
Fill out your comment section.
Now you're filling it, aren't you? You're filling it. Filling it.
Filling you.
You're filling. Oh, I don't want to fill you.